Oh, God. Once again, we're going Thursday night podcast. Last week, I was just so much more into it, right? I was Thursday night podcast. Well, I just sat in the fucking car for 10 hours because I just drove down to Florida. We're here in the spring thrilly, the dilly. No, Spring Hill, Florida. It's where my in-laws live. We're down here for a wedding. My boy Len. We don't know what he goes by. He's been my friend for 13 years, though. 13 years? 14 years. Jesus Christ, I'm getting old. We're down here in the Florida. The Florida. He was a rapper, I think. I don't know. Not great at that. Don't like rap. I do like rap. I don't like that shitty rap. Sorry. If I offend anybody, just move on. It's fine. We're getting into it. Today's episode, we're going to talk about the road trip. Listen, people, I literally just got out of the car. 10 hours, 2 kids, brought the dog. If you were on Instagram today, you saw it, you witnessed it. It's a road trip. A road. That's a funny word, road. Dating myself, if anybody's seen it. Chris Farley, David Spade, Black Sheep. Road. A road. Anyways. Road trip. Down to Florida. Dropping the kids off, dog off. Going to the wedding tomorrow. Mañana. Friday. No, wait a minute. It's a Thursday night podcast. But it's coming out on Friday. So it's today. Today we're going to the wedding. Anywho. We'll talk about the road trip. Surprisingly, I thought it was going to be this fucking circus. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I had this whole thing planned. I even have it on my notes. Finish up road trip summary. It's going to be this incredible, hilarious thing. Not really. 3 stops. Kids were great. Dog was great. Wife was great. It's about a all-in. Left Charlotte 8:30. Got down here at 5:30. So all in, we're talking 9. Right? 9-hour trip. That's fucking good. I mean, usually it's a 9-hour trip without kids and a dog, and it was 9 hours with kids and a dog. We stopped 3 times. I even put it on the Instagram. How many stops will we make? The 2 comments were 8 and 6. Not even close. Not even close. Suck it. We crushed it. Everyone crushed it. The dog is sitting here next to me. I'm in my wife's bedroom where she grew up in, and the dog is on the bed shaking his ass off, sleeping. It's what he does when he sleeps. I don't know, it's weird. He's old. Just deal with it, people. Fucking deal with it, man. You don't need to fucking get on me about it. Jesus. Road trip was fine. God, I thought it was going to be so much more fun, like bullshit wise. But it wasn't. It wasn't. I don't know. I almost don't feel as complete as I should, which is also embarrassing because I really just want to make some. I just want you guys to feel like just craziness that happens in our household and in our lives. But it was great. It was great today. It was great. I can't fucking believe it. Right, Bronx? Hey. Did you have fun today? He's looking at me like, you motherfucker kept me in a cage for 10 fucking hours. Well, you drove down the highway. Fuck off. He had a great time. Great time. The dog saw the fucking countryside he's never seen before. It's incredible for him. All right, anywho. We're going to make this quick, dude. I just recorded the podcast that's coming out on Sunday. I'm fucking tired. I'm almost piss drunk anyways, too. So we're going to get through this thing real quick. 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And again, hope you enjoy your drive into work, you cock. when you drive home from work. You sucker. Anywho, if that offends you, I'm sorry. Move on. Questions from Instagram. I asked the other day, I said, do you have any questions? And these are good questions, and I appreciated everyone's input on these. Do you have any questions for me for the Friday pod? First question. This is from my boy Mikey C. How do I decide my next workout cycle? So, and I'll get serious now. No, it's a good question. So, certainly as Pete and I, who work out together, and as you know, Pete's my workout partner. We go through our workouts. We have an understanding of basically like what do each of us want to accomplish. And Pete is and I enjoy it because if you know me, I do like planning and kind of being in control of things, just my personality wise. Pete has basically tasked me with coming up with our own the programs that we're gonna have, and I do share them with him before we even start to make sure that like that's gonna make sure that it reaches his goals as well. And we've had. There hasn't been any discrepancies by any means. Which has been great. So and Pete's very easygoing and when it comes to workouts and everything, I do share with him like what I do want to accomplish goal wise and everything, and he does as well. So how do I decide my next workout cycle? So I do use the Fit Plan app, and thankfully they do. It's almost monthly. Like monthly, they update their workouts. So for me, I can just go right into my app and look at, okay, what are the current workouts and then what has been added new. And then you can go and look at all of the workouts for the entire program. So you can literally just open up every single workout and it'll pinpoint every single thing that happens in every workout. And I look at that based off of what I want to accomplish throughout the year. So, right now we're in the winter, but what everyone says and how it's always, and the common statement is summer bodies are made in the winter. So for me, I want to make sure that everyone in the winter is like, this is the bulking season. And I don't disagree with that because you certainly want to put on muscle because now is the time to put on muscle for the fact that you're not going to be out in your bathing suit or shirt off or anything like that. It's just too cold. But at the same time, for me, like the workouts that I'm trying to accomplish are, I'm not trying to get super big, but I'm trying to have some definition. At the same time, I'm still trying to have a golf swing that's not like, so robotic and everything. It's loose and fluid, and I don't need to have a huge chest to have that and all that stuff. But at the same time, I do want to have a defined chest. So you kind of have to kind of look at each individual, right, for yourself. And look at it and say, all right, well, what do I want to accomplish and how do I get to that and what does that look like? And let me tell you, if you don't have the Fit Plan app and you don't have Fit Plan app and you don't have other apps or any guidance, dude, Google it, YouTube it, like type in, like as simple as it sounds, like type in the sentence of what you're thinking of, like what you want to be, and there's going to be a workout program around it. Like I said, just type out the sentence like, I want to have the golfer's body, right? Boom, type that out. Or I want to have 22-inch arms. Boom, there's going to be something out there, man. You're going to be able to find something. I promise you. So to answer that question, how do I decide the next workout cycle? First thing is the app. And what does Pete want to accomplish? What do I want to accomplish? And then how do we meet that? Second question came from my wife. How much do I love my wife? And my father-in-law just walked in, so I feel like he just walked in at a bad time. No, it's a great time. How much do I love my wife? First off, Really shitty question for my own wife to ask. But secondly, I love my wife tremendously. I don't think there's any way to actually explain how much you should love your significant other. You get in here. That's on. It's recorded.
It is?
It's recording. You're live Sunday. This is live tomorrow. So how much do you love your wife?
They have to be your best friend.
I don't disagree. Certainly don't disagree. What I was trying to get at about like how there's not any words to describe it. It's more of like,
You know each other's next move.
yeah. I just don't think, that she asked a great question, and as shitty as that question is because she asked it, it's a really good question for the fact that she asked it, and it's like, well, how much do you love your wife? I love her so much that I really can't describe how much I love her because, as you're aware, in being married, and I am, they are your best friends. So you, as a best friend, you kind of turn a blind eye to some of their faults, but at the same time...
Oh, yes. I mean, I could...
Right?
Oh, yes. If there's some... My wife is famous for not closing a drawer. She'll close it 95%, or a cabinet door 95%, or she'd leave something out, or she doesn't clean something up. Don't say anything. Just take care of it. Just do it.
But you pick up on those things, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And
they're
you
your
don't
best
see-
friends, so you kind of just like, hey, that's them.
That's it.
At the same, why do you love them? Because at the same time, they do the same thing for us. Right?
Although we probably don't pick up on it.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like, I think men in general are just more willing to point out some faults of women versus where women would be like, that's fine, and kind of accept it rather than turn around and be like, oh, okay, so I don't do this. Remember that you don't do this or this or this.
See, that's why I don't bring anything up. No.
Yep.
Nope.
So that was how much do I love my wife? I love her more than anything. She is my best friend, and if I didn't love her as much as I do, then I probably wouldn't put up with as much shit as I do, I guess. I don't know. It's terrible to say, especially in front of her dad who just fucking walked in. You won't even get this one, Chuck, but because I barely understood it. This one's from Mike Najeka, one of my best friends for a long time. But even his question, this is how we start. How is watching Ric Flair and Macho Man Randy Savage memes,
Who's passed away?
yeah, as effective, if not more so, than multiple scoops of pre-workout? So I know how to answer this because Michael asked me the question. So, how is watching Ric Flair and Macho Man Randy Savage memes as effective, if not more so, than multiple scoops of pre-workout? So what Michael is trying to say is, if you watch Ric Flair and Macho Man Randy Savage memes on Instagram or on the internet, does that get you pumped up as much as taking a pre-workout supplement to go to the gym? And what I would say is, no, it does not. As much as Ric Flair and Macho Man Randy Savage memes are fantastic, pre-workout gets into your bloodstream, buddy. And it's like a drug, dude. Ain't nothing going to change that. Once you get in the bloodstream, things get wild. Wild, buddy. The vascular pump, my friend. If you could interview any one person, who would it be and why? This is for my friend, the British Steven. I'm going to take it to a level, and I'll ask you because you're sitting here. Yeah. If you could interview anyone, I'm going to change it. Anyone, dead or alive. And I thought about this for the whole 10-hour ride down here. Dead or alive. If I could interview anybody, dead or alive, and people are going to fucking probably light me up for this, but I don't care. Dead, George Steinbrenner.
John Kennedy.
John Kennedy. See, yours is way more.
He was my friggin' hero. Oh my God.
George Steinbrenner is my hero. Want to know why? 27 world championships.
Fuck you.
I don't care. The guy came out of Columbus, Ohio. In Shipyard in Columbus,
I know.
Ohio.
But all he's done is open up his pocketbook and just bought a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The audacity of that man. The balls on that man.
Because the New York Yankees and Boston Red Sox. I'm sorry, I've had.
He's
I'm
a
in the
Tampa
Kenya.
Bay Rays fan.
No,
They
no,
have
no, no.
14 fans.
No. Okay, 16. fans.
16 fans.
But it's because of the Boston Red Sox and New York Yankees that there isn't a cap. You can't deny that.
And I'm not going to deny it. What I will say is the Yankees were under the cap this year.
Yes.
So that's always an argument for baseball in general.
Under
is
what cap?
the luxury cap? They didn't get charged. Yankees are under your luxury cap.
That luxury cap. But
Yeah.
I'm talking about a salary cap.
There is no salary cap.
I know.
That's
It's
the great
because-
thing about baseball.
But
Don't hate on it. It's fantastic. Here's the thing. It allows freedom for all teams.
Well, then-
If you're an owner that doesn't have enough money,
why do the other three major sports?
capitalism. Charles, capitalism.
Go ahead. Continue.
Fact. Be pissed because Tampa has no money. It's not my fucking
Wait,
problem.
I know it. But, hey, I can't.
Not my
I
problem.
live here. Right. It's not right. It's not your problem. You don't live
Dead
here.
or alive, I said George Steinbrenner is dead.
Yeah.
You said John Kennedy.
Kennedy.
Alive, you wouldn't know him. He's the reason why I got into podcasting. Eric Anders Lang. So he is a big golf guy on not a golfer, podcast side, production side. He does stuff for Scratch TV, which is owned by PGA Tour, all this stuff. Him and his assistant, Colt, are the reason why I got into podcasting. So I think for this question, it only suits me for the fact that I would love to interview him. I would. He's golfed for 7 years. He started golfing at age 30. He's 37.
Wow.
Dropped out of high school. Started golfing at 30. 37, travels the world now, and basically is an ambassador for golf. Loves it. Has a whole production company. All this stuff. Eric Anders Lang.
Wow.
Who's your alive?
Well, I guess I got to say Bill Rogers. I got to go back to Billy.
Well, this is coming out before.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
people
it's
don't
coming-
know that you're talking about Bill
Oh,
Rogers.
okay.
Remember, this comes out tomorrow.
Okay.
Yours is coming out on Sunday.
All right. Bill Rogers was my idol. I would have loved to have followed in his footsteps. Except age and injury kept me from it. But no, I mean, I have sat down with him before and talked. But to put him on the spot, I'd love to put him on the spot because I think I can corner him.
Bill Rogers, marathon runner.
Yes, right. 4-time winner of Boston, 4-time winner of New York.
All right. Are you recording on location? This is from our friend, mutual friend, Leonard.
Hey,
Lenny.
Lenny
asks,
married in 2 days.
are you recording on location? I think he's asking because I call it the Friday podcast, but earlier I called it the Thursday night podcast. We are recording on location. We're in Florida, but we are not in Orlando, Leonard, where I imagine you think we are, but we are not. We're in the Spring Thrill.
You have been to my home, Lenny.
Multiple times.
Yes.
Yes. All right. You're going to help me finish this thing out. Thoughts on last week's NFL playoff games? I want your thoughts, and I'm going to give my thoughts. Just overall.
Disappointment of Seattle. That was
I would agree. I thought Seattle, and I think I even predicted it, that Seattle was going to go into Dallas and win.
Yeah.
I will say, though, all the games are great.
Yeah, they were. No, they were.
Even the San Diego game where they were up 23-3, I was like, oh, it's over.
and
then I watched the fourth quarter,
Yeah,
and I was
man.
like, and it came down to that last drive, and I was like,
did.
holy shit, like the
Yeah.
Ravens are going to win this game.
Yeah. But they were all good games. So just the disappointment I had of Seattle because I thought they should have done it, could have done it.
for how good their season was.
And there's some calls that kind of went.
Yeah, well,
against
that's every
them.
game.
Yeah, I know.
For how good that season was, though, I would have thought a little more about Seattle. But
Upcoming games.
overall, we're going to get into that. Overall, though, what a great first weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. ESPN, SportsCenter, put out most likely to win the Super Bowl this week. I'm going to read them off to you, and I want to get your opinion on them. According to ESPN's Power Index, Saints are the number one favorite to win the Super Bowl.
I would agree.
The Eagles are the last of the remaining teams.
I would agree.
You'd agree?
Yes. Yes.
Saints, Chiefs are 2. See, I agree.
Yeah.
You're a little, I'd agree.
That game, the Colts.
They don't have the
Chiefs game-
defense. They don't have the defense. But the NFL is turning towards more of an offensive type league than they ever have been. Rams are 3. Patriots 4. And outside of the Patriots being just a dominant team year over year and an incredible
They're
dynasty,
not dominant this year.
I don't see them as a number 4. I really don't. And I like the fact I see the Chargers, who's
Yep,
5
yeah.
ahead of them.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, the Chargers are 8-1 on the road this year. Every time they've gotten on a plane, let me tell you this. Every time they've gotten on a plane, they're 8-0 this year. The one loss, they drove across the city and lost to the Rams. So they didn't get on a plane.
Oh.
Every time they got on a plane, they flew to London. They've flown across the country. They've flown across the Atlantic. They've won every single road game this year when they got on a plane. The only game they lost was when they basically got on a fucking bus and drove to the Rams Stadium. Colts are 6, Cowboys are 7. So top is Saints, bottom is Eagles.
Yeah. I just don't know.
I agree with you. I think the Patriots aren't 4.
No. 5 or 6.
Shit, I almost put them behind. I'd put the Eagles higher up. You know why? Foles.
Falls. Yeah.
The dude is not a franchise quarterback, but for some damn reason, he can win in the playoffs.
Well, he proved it last year.
He won a Super Bowl.
No.
He's not a starting quarterback in the NFL, and he won a fucking Super Bowl against said Patriots.
Who was the quarterback that played for the Bucks, went to out west?
Baltimore.
No. Dilfer. Trent
Yeah, she's
Dilfer.
right.
Went to
Dilfer.
Baltimore.
He won the Super Bowl with
Baltimore.
Oh, was it Baltimore?
He won the Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer.
Okay.
Yeah,
But he didn't win the Super Bowl. He did not lose it.
there you go. You don't have to win anything.
Yeah.
In the NFL, like, hell, look at Ryan Fitzpatrick. You guys dealt with him with the Bucks this year. First 3 games, that dude's an MVP.
I know it.
He's an
500 yards a
MVP.
game.
He's wearing a fucking felt suit in the fucking post-game conferences. All right, or conferences, the whatever they're talking about.
Press conference.
Press
Press
conference.
conference.
There you go. Lindsay joined in.
Yes.
She might need to take over. I've had my fair share of beer. All right, we're gonna talk about. Let's talk about the games. All right, so we talked about Super Bowl predictions, but let's talk about the games. Colts at Chiefs. Chiefs are a 5.5 point favorite with the 29th defense in the league.
5.5 points. You got to take the Colts.
I'm going Colts.
Yeah.
Dude, Luck, MVP year. Mahomes is the MVP.
Yes.
He's going to win the MVP, but I'd argue Luck is actually the MVP of the league for what he did with that team.
Yeah.
They were 1-5. They were 1-5.
Yeah. I know. And then they went 9-1.
They're 10-6.
Right.
They finished the season 10-6. 11-6 now. They've won 10 out of 11 games.
Yeah.
He came off an injury.
Yep.
He couldn't throw a fucking football. His
He
shoulder
didn't
was
play- He didn't
fucked.
play all last year.
Yeah, his shoulder's
No.
gone. What? I'm cursing. I'm sorry. Jeez.
Give my cognac.
All right. What was the question earlier about why I love my wife?
You backpedaling?
Yeah, maybe. Cowboys at Rams.
Rams.
Rams are
the Cowboys.
I hate the Cowboys too, but the Rams are a
Rams are good.
7-point favorite.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'll take the Rams in 7
Rams,
and
no
give
one
away.
likes the Cowboys. They're like the Yankees.
I'll take the Rams and lay 7. Host, what do you think?
I know I want the Rams to win, but
You don't want to lay. You can't lay the 7.
no, I'm gonna go Rams. I'm going Rams. I think the Rams are gonna win. I don't think they're gonna beat the Cowboys by 7.
Yes.
I think it's gonna be a field goal game. Rams haven't been playing good. They did not finish the season well. Gurley hasn't played in 3 games.
Yeah, he's playing though.
He's playing,
Yeah.
but Patriots, Chargers.
Oh,
Like I mentioned earlier, Chargers 8-1 this year on the road. Every time they get on a plane, they've won. But supposedly, forecast says 3 to 5 inches of snow at Foxborough,
And you're
and
talking
New
about
England's a
field goal game.
4-point favorite. It's a field goal.
It's a field goal game. Then who's got the best running game?
I'm going Chargers. Fuck the Patriots. I'm sick of them fucking
Yep.
winning.
I'm gonna
I-
agree. I'm gonna agree with you.
My brothers can go fuck themselves. I hate the fucking Patriots. I give a shit about Tom Brady. You know, fuck him. Fuck Gronk. Fuck
old man.
Belichick. Fuck Kraft. I'm so sick of them being so good. That's why I hate them so much. They're so good.
Yeah,
They're the only team in the NFL that have done what they've done.
Brady didn't have anybody to throw to this year, except Gronk.
He
And
sucked.
he only played half the time.
He sucked. I hope Phillip Rivers and his fucked up arm slot win the game.
He's
All
got
right.
the worst throwing
It's the,
form I've
it's
ever
the-
seen.
It looks like he's literally just shot putting shit.
I know it looks like his shoulder pads are just in the way, and he's just throw.
God, it's
Like he's throwing a
embarrassing.
frisbee.
It's embarrassing, but I hate the Patriots so much. More so, I hate how good they are, and I also hate the fact that they beat the Panthers in the one Super Bowl I thought we could win.
Oh yeah.
I thought we could beat the Broncos, but we played like dog shit. But the Patriots won. I thought we're one of like 10 teams that have never won the Super Bowl. Just so you know, it doesn't matter to you. Your Bucks have won.
We got
One.
one.
Yeah.
It's going to be one for a long time.
Well, maybe you guys will get Gruden again. You never know.
No.
That's what happened last
Still
time.
want him.
Build a team, trade for him, he wins it, and then he
Goes
kinda
away, walks
screws
away.
up everything.
Yeah.
All right, last game of the weekend is Saints and Eagles.
No.
Yeah, Saints at home are an 8-point favorite, which, in all honesty, I thought they'd be way more.
Gotta go with the Saints. Take the Saints. Give them the 8.
Foles is great. Foles crushed it for the last 2 years. If you don't go the Saints at home in that dome with Drew Brees, you're stupid.
In that crowd. Yeah.
They beat him by like 40 in the regular season. I don't know if that's true. I do know they crushed them. I don't know the actual score.
Okay.
But I remember the Eagle guy, one of the Eagles' defensive guys came out and he's like, they ran up the score on us. They embarrassed us. Dude, it's the NFL. There's nobody running up the score on anybody. They just beat the shit out of you. That's basically it.
That's right.
National championship thoughts. Clemson, Alabama.
I was pulling for Clemson.
I was pulling for
I'm an
Clemson.
SEC man, but Clemson's got it.
I was pulling for Clemson. I believe I predicted Clemson. I
What a
did not.
first half.
Nobody. What a first quarter.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Nobody predicted a 44-16 ass kicking.
No.
I turned the game off when Clemson scored their third touchdown. It was 21-16. I was like,
Right.
it's going to go like this for the rest of the game. We're good. I woke up and it was 44-16. Little did I know, Alabama never scored again
I know. Second half nothing.
against a freshman quarterback.
Yep.
And now the whole
the real
controversy is
Should he play in the NFL? Can't.
Yeah.
No.
well, now he has to sit in the NCAA for another 2 years. Well, God fucking forbid he's got to get an education. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I'll go back and forth on this all day long, but you know the rules. The NCAA has always had 3 years. Nobody was crying for Tim Tebow to go to the NFL. He is arguably the greatest college football player of all time. arguably the greatest college football player of all time.
Could be.
Look
Yep.
at the stats.
Yep.
Like it doesn't lie. Speaking of which, he got
Yes.
engaged this week.
He
Congratulations, Tim Tebow. He's a big listener, huge listener of this podcast.
Hi, Tim.
Huge listener. Probably my number one follower. But surprising. Because I thought after watching the semifinal games, I really thought like this was the upper echelon. Little did I know how good Clemson really was.
Well, I watched Trevor Lawrence the last couple of games that they played, and I'm thinking, look at this. He's a kid. He's just out of high school, but he's a man in kids' clothes. I
Yeah.
mean, that dude, man, he can fire the ball. Jeez, wonder if he could throw a 94-mile-an-hour curveball. Huh?
44 points against Alabama. 44 points. That's crazy. It's insane.
Yep.
All right. Last thing we'll wrap up is the baseball news. I try and get on any podcast I do, especially the Weeks in Review, is anything going on in baseball, especially as we lead up to it.
Is Manny settled in someplace?
No.
Shit.
So that's
every
usually
time I pick up my fucking phone.
Yeah,
it's Manny this, Manny that. Just
what's great. You know what I'll tell you though. What's great about all of that is that Bryce Harper is basically just sitting back in his lazy boy, just waiting, just going. I'm gonna wait to see where he's gonna get his money,
Right.
And then I got
And I
my
get the-
negotiation
Yep.
set.
Yep.
The last I saw was that it could be the White Sox for Manny Machado. Phillies, Yankees, White Sox. So if you were to choose for those three teams, and I mentioned earlier, dead or alive, I wanna interview George Steinbrenner because that guy basically molded my childhood of just winning mentality. You're gonna choose the White Sox?
not Philadelphia, so what's left? The Yankees.
He even came out and said, even if the Yankees offer isn't as much money, but close, I'll choose the Yankees. Want to know why? The dude wants to win. He played for Baltimore.
Yeah.
I could play for Baltimore. I could pitch for Baltimore. I'm putting that on record. I could pitch for Baltimore.
Do you know where your cleats are?
No, I probably don't even need them. I'll fucking pitch in sneakers. The others I saw was, it's just, it's a bunch of free agent signings. Grandal, I guess, is the biggest free agent signing. He signed with the Brewers. But what I do see is that there is a lot of action in the free agent market compared to last year. I remember last year, like with you being here in Florida, you see it a lot. But last year they had to have an open, like a separate camp for free agents that hadn't been signed because baseball is moving in a new direction. They are really trying to mold a lot of their young talent out of the minors rather than signing these, 5, 6, 10-year veterans for millions of dollars. They'd rather
Hundreds
just
of
save the money.
millions of
Yeah,
dollars.
they'd rather save the money.
Yeah. Well, I'm here in Tampa, and that's the whole Rays mentality. It's just, if they get too, just let them go. We'll next man up. And
Archer,
Yeah.
Price.
Yeah.
Who else? Who was the other? Who's
They
the
just-
other pitcher?
They just traded Bowers, for God's sakes. We picked him up, put him at first base, and we thought, man, here's our godsend. Traded him. That one I didn't get.
Who's the guy that came out a couple of weeks ago and said basically Tampa has no fan base, and he's a Tampa player?
Oh, you're talking about Longoria?
No,
Who's
it
now
wasn't
with San
Longoria.
Francisco?
No. He is with Tampa,
No.
and he came out and said Tampa has no fan base, and he encouraged the organization to leave the city. I can't remember. I want to say it was like your
Our
first
TV
baseman.
numbers are out of sight because no one wants to drive to that dungeon down there.
Yeah.
And in the whole
a
stadium,
dump.
It is. I wish we could cut the top off and raise it about 30
The
feet.
fact that you have a rule that if it hits the catwalk and if it lands a certain way,
Or which ring it hits.
like,
Come
give me a
on.
fucking
I know.
break.
Every
dude.
time it hits something up there, it's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment. And you see the referees, they're pulling out their little book, 'cause,
Yeah, dude, it's like-
let's see, it hit this thing here, so that means it's...
It's
I
like
mean,
they
that's
have to like figure out Sir Isaac Newton's laws of physics. Be like, all right, well, it hit over here, and so that means that one's gonna come back.
It takes me back to when we were kids and we wiffle bats and wiffle balls. If it hits the telephone pole, it's a double. If it hits Mr. Schultz's roof, it's a triple.
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
It doesn't make any sense. Look, I don't like teams moving just for the fact that you do have a fan base. Now, in regards to Tampa, they need a stadium.
Yes.
If they don't get a stadium, they should move.
Yep. I
I think this is like one of the only times I've ever supported a team to be like, you know what? If you don't get a stadium, you need to move. Because, and maybe it's my bias towards baseball, but you have a shitty stadium in a shitty lease with a city that is unwilling to negotiate anything and basically say, if you leave, I'm going to sue you.
Well, they gave the Tampa group ample amount of time to find a location. And it just fell apart.
Then you know what? Hire better real estate agents.
It's something. Yeah.
Do something better.
Jesus.
Because you have no fan base here.
If Vinnick would just take over the team, maybe they
Yeah,
would.
right? Like, think about it. Who goes to the games? Yankee fans? Red Sox fans?
Yeah.
When do they sell out?
Those two.
When those two teams. Why? Because those fans live here.
Yeah.
Not because the Tampa fans
But
live
they
here.
own two jerseys. They do.
Fine.
They do.
And
They
what's
do.
their dominant jersey they own? The other teams.
Yeah, they're really pulling for the other team.
Yeah, of course they are. I could go into Tampa Bay and wear my Yankee uniform and be supported probably by more people than I would be booed. If I did that in New York and wore a Tampa uniform, I'd probably be hung in Monument Park.
Like, just through the stores, when you're shopping, you see as many Yankee caps as you do Rays caps.
It's outside of the fact that you
They
live
just
here,
can't-
it's a little embarrassing.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all. All right, that's my week in review. You got anything else for the review that I missed?
I just walked in. I was just trying to be
I know.
supportive.
No, and I appreciate that. I try and cover some things that go on in sports that are important. Golf again is going on this week in Hawaii. Again, golf season starts the Masters, except this year. They moved the players to March. Players to March. So the season starts in March, or Phoenix Open, or whatever. I don't really care. Your season can start whenever it wants. I've had enough. Good job for me. Charles, you've done Week in Review. He's on Week in Review, and he's also going to be on Sunday's podcast that I'm going to get out right after the wedding that I'm going to for Leonard. Thank you. Good night.